Hello class, and welcome to our Chapter 2 review. Each page will have a different problem. Please pause the video, solve the problem, and then press play to see the results. Make sure you write down our title and all the standards from this chapter. Notice there will be no vocabulary today. Starting with 2.1, write the fraction in simplest form. Please pause, start it back up when you're ready to see the answer. Okay, welcome back. Taking a look at the answer, you can divide them both by 3 and you end up with negative 5 over 13. Be careful with the negative. If you forget it, it will change your answer completely. Another 2.1 problem. Tell whether, tell whether the fractions are equivalent. 65 over 90, 13 over 18. Remember what you're testing is to see if you can reduce them both to the same thing. Taking a look at our answer, the answer is yes, because 65 over 90 can be divided by 5 over 5, and you'll end up with 13 over 18. 2.2, copy and complete the statement with less than, greater than, or equal to 7/8 over 9/11. Now remember, this is where you can use the cross multiplying method and write the number at the top. Okay, so let's take a look. You're going to do 9 times 8, so the numerator of this fraction with the denominator of this fraction, and 11 times 7. We end up with 77 for 11 times 7, and 72 for 9 times 8, so it's greater than. The first fraction is greater than the second fraction. Copy and complete the statement with less than, greater than, or equal to again. 3 and 3/5 and 11/3. Now, what we'll need to do here is we need to make both the fractions improper so we can continue with that cross multiplication method. So I make them both improper and I have 18/5 and 11/3. When I multiply 3 times 18 I get 54, 5 times 11 is 55, so our answer is less than. 2.3, find the sum or difference. Notice we already have common denominators. We're adding a positive and a negative, which means we're secretly subtracting. And end up with negative 10. Negative 10 over 15 can be divided by 5 over 5, and we get negative 2/3. Again, finding the sum or difference with a common denominator. Now, notice when I'm subtracting, if I have a number that has a larger whole number, it also has to have the larger numerator. So 5 is larger than 3, but 1 is not larger than 4, which tells me I have to turn my fractions into improper fractions. So go ahead and take a look at the answer there. And I end up with 45 over 5, which reduces simply to 9. Okay, 2.4, find the sum or difference. This time we do not have common denominators. And I have 2/5 minus 3/7. My LCD between 5 and 7. Go ahead and find it and solve. Hopefully you knew that was 35. I just skip, change. 14 plus negative 15, secretly subtract and get negative 1/35. 2.4, again, find the sum or difference with different denominators. Now I'm doing addition, so I don't have to make my fractions improper. Again, you can if you want to. Okay, let's take a look. 7, I went ahead and made them improper so it'll be easier. And 17 over 4 needs to be changed to a new fraction with a denominator of 8, multiplying by 2 over 2. And I get 34/8 plus 31/8, and I end up with 65/8, which is 8 and 1/8. And again, you do not have to make that fraction improper in order to be able to solve it. 2.5, find the product. Remember, now we do not have to look for LCDs. We are simply cross-multiplying. So taking a look at the answer, we need to set up 5 as 5 over 1, and we need to make negative 3 and 1/4 improper. And I can cross-multiply 1 times 13, or cross-cancel, 1 and 13 have no common factor. 5 and 4 also have no common factor. So there's nothing that I can cross-cancel, so I simply multiply. 5 times negative 13 is negative 65, 1 times 4 is 4, and I need to make that into a nice mixed number. Okay, 2.5 again, finding the product. This time I have 3 fractions. So I can write it as one giant fraction with all the numerators on the top, 4, 2, and 5, and all the denominators on the bottom, 5, 3, and 4. So go ahead and solve. Let's take a look. I notice the 4 and the 4 can cancel out and become 1 and 1. 5 and 5 cancel out and become 1 and 1. And I'm left with 2 over 3. 2.6, find the quotient. Remember, I need to turn them into mixed numbers and skip, change, flip. So go ahead and let's take a look at the answer. I have all improper fractions. I did skip, change, flip, and ended up with an answer when I cross-canceled of 1/4. Because notice the 5 and the 2 can be cross-canceled. Okay, again, same thing. Take those mixed numbers, turn them into improper fractions, skip, change, flip. There's nothing here that I can cross-cancel, so I end up with negative 99 over 32. And when I simplify, 32 goes into 99 3 times with 3 left over. Negative 3 and 3 30-seconds. Watch out for that negative. If you forget it, it will make the answer wrong. 2.7, write the mixed number as a decimal. 4 and 11/12. We're going to leave the 4 as your whole number. Find out what 11/12 is. Let's take a look. 11/12 when you divide is 0 and 916 thousandths repeating, with that 6 repeating. So you need that line over the 6, and then bring the 4 to put it together. And last problem today, we have the decimal, which we need to turn into a fraction or mixed number. The -1 is obviously our whole number, so that's going to stay our whole number. So you need to find out what 72 hundredths is as a fraction. Let's take a look. 72 hundredths, we can divide both by 4 and end up with -1 and 18/25. Okay, have a great day. And make sure you don't forget to do the Chapter 1 review quiz. Make sure you do all 3 problems, taking your time. You can do this. You guys know all of this information.